What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the future of AEW in trouble, WWE changed the original plans for John Cena's retirement, are we being swerved about the identity of the Masked Man, is Vince McMahon going to appear at John Cena's final ever match, John Cena being sued, a WWE star set for a huge push, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Now our first story looks at the future of AEW in trouble. Now there's huge news today on Netflix and Warner Bros. Discovery officially announcing a definitive agreement, as Netflix will acquire Warner Bros. Film and television studios along with HBO and HBO Max in a deal that's valued at roughly $82.7 billion. Under that agreement, Netflix gains control of Warner Bros. Huge content library from legacy film and TV to recent hits. However, the deal doesn't include all of Warner Bros. Discovery's assets. WBD will spin off its network-based properties, channels including TBS and TNT, into a separate new entity. That means for AEW, which currently broadcasts its flagship shows of Dynamite and Collision on TBS and TNT under a media rights deal with WBD, the core broadcast platforms remain outside of the Netflix deal for now. However, since Netflix now own HBO Max, which streams other WBD content, there's major uncertainty over AEW's streaming fate. Some are speculating that because Netflix already streams WWE content globally, the company may deprioritize AEW under its current strategy. As the companies integrate and reorganize, AEW could find itself needing a new broadcast or streaming partner if Netflix doesn't keep it on board. Now, AEW might have a contingency where they may launch their own streaming site, as they trademark the name Watch AEW on November 14th. Whilst the programming may be safe for now, what about the back catalogue of AEW? Next up, news on the Royal Rumble winner. Now next story looks ahead to the Royal Rumble next month, as we potentially know who could be winning the big matchup. According to WrestleVotes, the current plan in WWE is for Bron Breakker to win the Royal Rumble for the first time in his career. Bron Breakker is your current whiteboard favourite, as so bluntly described us, to win the Royal Rumble. An idea has been strongly considered within creative circles that would see Breakker win the Royal Rumble on January 31st from Saudi Arabia. Now this does contradict the claims that Roman Reigns is a clear favourite to win the Rumble next year, so it appears that WWE has once again pivoted when it comes to the winner of the match. This isn't exactly uncommon for WWE, as we saw this year. Initially, WWE wanted CM Punk to win the Rumble until the switch was made to Jey Uso. Similarly to the 2025 Rumble, Breakker is set to wrestle for the world title just before the Rumble match itself. This was the exact booking method they used for Jey Uso. It's kind of an odd booking move, as a wrestler losing their world title shot, then just winning the Rumble a week or two later lacks any suspense, and it could lead to fans turning on Breakker for being overpushed. Could Breakker be the new Jey Uso? Next up, WWE changed the original plans for John Cena's retirement. John Cena has revealed the original plans for his retirement tour. According to the WWE legend, during an appearance on The Ringer, the original plans were going to see him work a total of 220 dates. But when he pitched this to WWE, they turned him down and they opted for 36 dates instead. It's worth noting that the WWE schedule has dramatically altered since Cena last worked a full-time run around a decade ago. Not a single name in the company works 220 days anymore, and live events are extremely infrequent. WWE could have easily given Cena more dates, but they likely wanted to protect his body, as it would be concerned that if Cena was wrestling and traveling every single week, he could be injured. Next up is a top WWE star transitioning to a new role, and Nikki Bella has confirmed that this is her final WWE run, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she will be retiring completely. According to the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, there are rumors that Nikki may transition to a manager role within the company. Nikki's an established name and a WWE Hall of Famer, so she could easily be used to put over younger stars in a managerial role. Next up, are we being swerved about the Masked Man? Austin Theory returned to WWE TV at Survivor Series by supposedly being the man under the mask, and now it's surfaced why exactly they wanted Theory in the Vision faction. It's turned out that this storyline is the mastermind of Paul Heyman, as the Observer states that he hopes his inclusion in the group will make him a star, and he can protect Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed from taking pins. Paul Heyman had wanted to bring Austin Theory into the Vision, largely making him a star and to protect Breakker and Reed from having to take pins. Now whilst this sounds great on paper, WWE's creative direction could change at a minute's notice, and according to the same report, the Masked Man may not be revealed as Theory, and it could be a returning Chris Jericho. That doesn't mean Theory will end up being the guy under the mask when it's revealed. It probably won't be Rollins. If they drag it out until January, it could be Chris Jericho, which immediately gets him into a top position. And this is one of the great advantages of delivering an angle with a masked wrestler, as in theory, pun intended, it could be anyone under the mask when the big reveal occurs. It could even be Randy Orton. WWE recently listed a number of prime suspects for the masked man, and Randy Orton has made the top of the list. Randy Orton is set for this week's edition of SmackDown after being absent for 2 whole months, so could he be the guy behind the mask? Next up, details on Unreal 2. Now, Unreal 2 is quickly approaching and we finally know the details on what storylines the new season is going to focus on. According to a new report by Bodyslam Plus 5 Patreon, the season will focus on storylines such as Seth Rollins' injury ruse, as well as R-Truth's firing and rehiring. A lot of crazy things have happened over the last 8 months, and WWE and Netflix have filmed plenty of content for the next season of WWE Unreal. Sources indicate to Bodyslam that several superstars will soon begin doing interviews about Season 2. These superstars include R-Truth, Io Sky, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Naomi, Lyra Valkyria, and Penta. With R-Truth and Seth Rollins set to be interviewed for the upcoming season, R-Truth's contract expiration and the aftermath, along with Seth's road to cash in at SummerSlam, will be covered in Season 2. WWE has been accused of producing storylines and manipulating real-life events just to create content for Unreal, so it'll be interesting to see how many elements of 2025 make it into the new season. It's believed that the new season will officially drop next month via the Netflix platform. Next up is Vince McMahon appearing at John Cena's final match. Now, all year there have been substantial rumors that John Cena will personally invite Vince McMahon to his final matchup. It's no secret that the two remain close personal friends, and whilst no official confirmation has been made by WWE, according to Brian Alvarez on the Wrestling Observer Radio, it's now looking increasingly unlikely, but it's not an impossibility. WWE bringing McMahon in for Cena's final match, even for a cameo, is extremely risky. McMahon was removed from TV for a reason, and if he appears, it could overshadow Cena's final match for all the wrong reasons. Whilst McMahon was an integral part of Cena's WWE career, there probably isn't any need for him to be in attendance at the show, as, let's be fair, his return is going to overshadow Cena's final ever match in WWE. It's going to take all the spotlight and make it negative. Next up, Donald Trump to cameo at Saturday night's main event. Now, speaking of John Cena's final match, another name that's been rumored to appear all year has been US President Donald Trump. Logan Paul has now openly addressed these rumors, and according to the former US champion during an interview with Fox News Digital, WWE has talked about it and it could happen. We've talked about it, I have no idea. It seems like something that could happen. I think it'd be awesome, but I don't know how political the WWE wants to get, so I'm not sure. It was initially reported that WWE moved the John Cena special from Boston to Washington for this exact reason, to have a prominent political figure in attendance. Similarly to Vince McMahon, if Trump is in attendance, even for a quick wave at the camera, there is concern that this will dominate headlines, and nobody will be focused on the retirement of one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Next up, Nick Khan talks Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has been back in WWE since SummerSlam, and the WWE president Nick Khan has now addressed Lesnar's attitude since he made his dramatic return to television. During an interview on the Daniel Cormier show, Khan said that WWE is honored to have Brock back in the mix, and he's great to work with. When he walks into a room, he looks, and usually is, the baddest dude on the planet, and that's what he looks like, and that's his personification. By the way, he's a gem to work with, easy, so as long as he sorta knows things in advance, there's no issues. We're honored to have him back, I'm happy he's here. Fans were extremely critical of the way Lesnar was presented back at WrestlePalooza. Lesnar was brought back in to squash John Cena, and most labeled the match as completely pointless. Thankfully, Lesnar's work at Survivor Series War Games this past weekend was a considerable improvement, and Lesnar was labeled by many as the MVP of the match. And now there's speculation on which WWE name could face Lesnar on the grand stage of WrestleMania in April. Bron Breakker seemed like an early favourite for this huge match, but it appears that Breakker is destined for a world title matchup against either CM Punk or Cody Rhodes. One name that is really likely is Gunther. This is a match that Gunther has heavily pushed for, and whilst there's vast contrast of styles here, it could work very well, as Lesnar has had some of his best matches with wrestlers who are pure in-ring technicians. If Gunther retires Cena next weekend, they gotta follow this up with a major match at WrestleMania. If Gunther isn't wrestling for a world title, which doesn't seem likely currently, then a match versus Lesnar is perhaps the next best thing. Next up, John Cena being sued. There's bad news for John Cena as he's being sued for his iconic theme song. According to Post Wrestling, a new federal lawsuit claims that WWE and Cena are using a sample of his trademark theme song, The Time Is Now. A new federal lawsuit filed this week in New York against WWE, TKO, John Cena, and others objects to the use of sample to create one of wrestling's most recognizable entrance themes, Cena's "The Time Is Now." The dispute centers around the iconic horn arrangements that introduce and play throughout the theme. It's alleged that the horn-driven sound was first used in the 70s, and it was claimed that the music is an original arrangement. Filed on Tuesday in the Southern District in New York, the lawsuit claims that the horn-driven intro and outro used in Cena's theme music were copied from a 1974 cover recording arranged by Canadian bandleader, the late Pete Schofield. The complaint was submitted by Schofield's daughter Kim Schofield, who said that she now owns the copyrights to the record and the music she says is an original arrangement. Now, according to the report from Post Wrestling, the case may hinge on whether those horn sections are protectable elements of the arrangement or an unlicensed derivative work. Whilst it's possible that the settlement is reached, WWE and Cena could easily amend his theme song for future appearances. Whilst the horn is symbolic, the actual contents and lyrics of the theme song wouldn't have to change. It's really strange that after about 20 odd years of John Cena using the theme, that they're now officially filing a lawsuit. Yet WWE allegedly told the Schofields the song has limited value and dismissed their request for writing credit as greedy and opportunistic. WWE nor Cena have yet to comment publicly on the planned legal proceedings. And finally, a WWE star set for a huge push. Our final story looks at Jimmy Uso, and it's been revealed that Jimmy could star in a crossover merchandise deal with an MLB team. According to WrestleVotes Radio, the deal was held off briefly because of a conflict of interest when it came to Survivor Series War Games. WWE has another licensing agreement that is possibly on the horizon. WrestleVotes Radio and Fightful Select reported that WWE has had conversations regarding a crossover promotional effort with MLB's San Francisco Giants and Jimmy Uso and some merchandise. It was hinted on the show that this crossover could be integrated into Jimmy Uso's gear as well. WrestleVotes Radio said that while the relationship still exists, the deal was held off because WWE Survivor Series was at Petco Park, the NL West rivals of the Giants. Now, this is huge for Jimmy Uso, and it certainly explains why he was used frequently in the build to War Games and then proceeded to main event the show. This also means that a TV push will be coming for Jimmy, as WWE want to feature the collaboration as much as possible. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.